Welcome, guys, to Stankey Sports Show. I'm Jack Stankey here with Jack McGowan, Joey Wood, Terrell Joseph, and newbie Ryan McKenna. And we're here today for a Stankey Sports Show special to talk about the best spikeball players in our grade, the 11th grade at Garden City High School. I'm going to hop right into it, and I'm going to say the mentions going straight off the bat. You know, I'm pretty bad at the sport. I'm pretty bad. So I put myself as a mention just because I feel like it's my show. So I could put myself as a mention.
Yeah, the only reason why you're a mention is it's because your show. You're probably the worst spikeball player I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You're a disgrace to the sport, and like I said, you are only a mention because it's your show.
I'm not worse than Jack Carr. I'm not worse than Jack Carr. That I can
You're about as bad as I've seen. It hurts my
terrible.
watching you play the sport. Just want to establish.
Moving into our honorable mentions, we have Connor Brock, Chris Ekna, Jackson Prisa, Arthur Morante, Ethan Marangolo, and our own Terrell Joseph.
Where's Robbie?
These are players that didn't make the top 15, but were solid enough to get an honorable mention.
Where's
Robbie?
Robbie?
Robbie broke in, and we'll get into that
he
in a
didn't.
second.
Wow.
We'll get into that in a second. We'll get into that in a second here, Joseph. But
Put some respect on Robbie's name.
let me
No.
remind you guys that the rankings were made primarily by me and McGowan. It was based off of like your record playing, wins and losses, your skill, your
Robbie's record
athleticism.
30. What?
Record is a big part, Joey. Just want to
Yeah,
establish.
shut up.
So we did the top 15 in the grade. I'm gonna move right into it. Coming in number 15 is Mr. Robbie Martino, the
That's
Italian
stupid.
stallion.
I'd take every single honorable mention over Robbie.
I mean, that's definitely a very questionable call. You know, I mean, him and Joey are on the same level in my eyes.
Yeah.
I think I can see them both being honorable mention. You know, same record, 3-16 in the last 19 against me. But you know, Robbie, he's like kind of like you. You know, a little bit of a disgrace to the sport. He has no reason why he should be playing. I mean, the kid is awful. I see I'm across from Robbie. I know that's at least
Yeah, you'll only go across from Robbie.
Okay, stop talking. When I'm across from Robbie, I know that's a free 15 points off the bat. I mean, the kid doesn't know how to play. He thinks he's good, which is very bothersome. He talks a lot, and he is just awful. So in my eyes, I'm with Joey here. I'm in the rare agreement with Joey that this is just way too high for Robbie.
Just some backstory to the McGowan and Joey beef right now. They've played, 19
Not beef.
games against
It's not
each
beef.
other? No, I know.
I'm 6-3 against him. No, I'm just better than him. There's
So
no
you
reason.
played 19 games, but McGowan refuses to go across from Joey, who is really the only one
Actually,
in my
Stankey,
eyes.
let's make this clear. I went across from Joey for 12 games, and I went 9-3 in those games. I just want to make that clear.
Okay.
You also have to remember my teammate in every single game has been Robbie.
I just want to make that clear that I was
game.
across from him for 12 games and went 9-3.
Yeah, the games where you won with Luca hit it over Robbie's head literally every single
Out
time.
of the way.
Moving into the rest of our rankings, coming in at number 14 is Jack Perini. McGowan, take this one away. Why?
I mean, he's good. You know, he's a little soft, very soft actually, very soft. Perini, if you're watching, you're very soft. He's childish, but you know, he kind of gets the job done. You know, I don't think anybody that was named before. I'd take Perini over every kid, but you know, he's just a child who's kind of sneaky, gets it done.
Okay, I like it. Coming in at number 13 is Kyle Wood, brother to Joey. Kyle performed at the beach. Definitely, I think, made his case for top 15. He took down
Underrated.
He took down some players. He is underrated in the grade. McKenna, any other words on Kyle Wood being 13?
Got a solid spike. Morante can't read it. He's pretty lanky. Still can't get it. I think Kyle's underrated. 13's an even spot. Still owes me $25. So.
Coming in at number 12 is Mr. Tanner Schmidt. What do we
Never
think
seen him
about
play.
that?
Yeah, he's solid. You've seen him play, right, Joey, or no?
No.
He's solid. Again, I mean,
I've never seen him play either.
I've never seen Kyle play, but there's no way Kyle's better than Tanner. Tanner's really solid.
Tanner's pretty athletic. I can see it.
Yeah.
Coming in at number 11 is our very show's own Mr. Ryan McKenna, coming in at the 11th spot. I think the only reason I put McKenna here is because of his little, let's put a way to say this, his stupid little sets that go 3 inches away from the net. He can't really spike the ball.
Oh, he's got
You
Rodrigo.
can't.
Rodrigo.
He's decently
Santiago.
athletic and is solid. He has great placement, I gotta say.
Nah, he's solid. The kid is solid. That's a good ranking.
Deserved him.
Game respect game again.
Coming in at number 10 is Luke Paskowitz. Now, I've never seen Luke Paskowitz play. But
You haven't. I
McGowan,
thought you saw him play the day at the high school. So let's
No.
just get this out of the way. Pasco's 10, Staub's 9. Is that correct?
correct.
So they play the same. I think Staub. The only reason why Staub is above Pasco is because he's got an absolute spike. Because he's getting towards the heavier side. He's looking at 220. He's looking very
Big boy,
chunky.
yeah.
When we see Staub, Staub is a very chunky man, very chunky male. He's looking, Staub, calm down those bacon, egg, and cheeses, buddy. Pasco is really solid also, but Staub's better than him because of that chunky monkey spike of his.
Pause.
So basically, they're
What?
the same
That's
player.
not
but
that's not a
stop.
pause. Chunky monkey spike. It's not a
Basically-
You
pause.
said that. You
Basically,
said that a
they're
little aggressive there, McGowan. I didn't like the way you said that one.
Basically, they're the same player, but Staub can send it into orbit. Is basically what you're saying.
Exactly. And Pasco moves quicker because Staub is so chunky.
Okay, let's move off the
Does
chunky
nobody
monkey
hear this
sayings
right
and
now?
move in. Let's move off the chunky monkey sayings and move into number 8 on the list. Is Mr. Kenna, not McKenna.
Yeah.
Mr.
See, you
Kenna.
guys don't really play with that. Oh yeah, actually, Joey's played it.
Kenna's good.
Yeah. Kenna is very solid, very solid. It's too bad that you guys haven't seen all these kids play. Stankey, you saw him play with Terrell.
I did see Kenna.
Kenna's
play.
good. He always lays out. He's a dog. He hustles.
Yeah.
So that's a very well-deserved ranking.
Coming in at number 7 is Mr. Thomas Filomena.
I think everybody – Tom's very solid. I think all you guys have seen him play because he came to that tournament. He's solid.
Yeah.
He's solid. Better than he might not be better than Kenna. That's definitely a debate right there. Tom's solid.
Oh, one of the
Thomas is
more
good.
controversial rankings on the list from these several outlets that I've spoken to about is Mr. Luca Pipitone coming in at 6.
I like it.
Now, this was McGowan's original call, so I'm going to let McGowan explain why Luca Pipitone deserves to
I
be
mean,
number
he
6.
just has an absolute hammer.
Got that spike, yeah.
He's
Can't
got the
stop
spike.
it.
He's painfully unathletic.
Yeah.
Painfully unathletic. I mean, the kid can't move.
Worse than Robbie?
Probably
Watch
gonna watch.
some, Martino.
Worse than
Pipitone.
Stankey.
I'll tell Luca to watch this. Luca go on a run, shed a few pounds, and his vertical is just brutal. The kid doesn't move, but we're talking about his cons, his pros. I mean, he's got that spike makes up for him his just brutal unathleticism, and that's why he's so high.
Coming in at number 5 was a player that we did not put on the original list because I've heard that he retired from the sport of Spikeball. But coming in at number 5 is Andrew Scatterigia.
Yeah, his prime. You guys all missed his prime. You guys were late on the train. Scat's prime was about as good as anybody could get. It's too bad that he's retired. Really is too bad.
But
if he wasn't on this
Scat
list,
is a
if he
dog.
wasn't on this list, who would you guys put as your honorable mention in the top 15 if we didn't have Scat?
Arthur should be over Robbie. His partner. Artie's a lot better than Robbie. Robbie's always like,
No.
back.
Robbie.
Terrell, you think you're 15? If no Scat?
Well, I haven't seen Ekno or the rest of the honorable mentions play. I know.
No, you're better than that.
Terrell and I almost manhandled Robbie and Stankey, sir. But Terrell,
I'm a very underrated player.
I know, Terrell. Once you figure out anybody's serve, it's Terrell.
I think Arthur would be in the top 15.
Yeah.
Got the lank.
I think the only reason I made the executive decision to put Robbie over Arthur was because I think Arthur's one-dimensional. I know Arthur's going to watch his back and get mad at me for saying this, but I think Arthur's solid at setting, but I don't think he can possibly be there for his spikes. I mean, he sets it up to this little ginger over
His
here.
spike is not there at all.
His spike is terrible, but
You gotta think,
he's
is Robbie's spike really there either?
No, Robbie's spike
Robbie's
is
got
there.
good placement, though.
He does, but he also has negative athleticism when it comes to spike ball.
Yeah, but I mean, so do I, and I'm dirty. So, like.
No, you're
You
terrible.
could've
You
been-
are awful.
Disgrace to the
Stankey.
sport.
Robbie
The fact that you
and
have that
you
spike
are-
ball net as your background is a disgrace to the sport.
I
Stankey,
needed
you missed,
to make it
Stankey, you
Spikeball
missed the
away.
net more times than you hit it in the game. You missed it more times than you hit it. It's
Last
absurd.
night, I took this ball right here in my hand, and I hit it up to myself 100 times in a row with either hand to start
I mean,
practicing.
that's not going to make you get to balls when they're on the ground. You were awful. You can
Me and
hit
Stanky
that
dominated.
500 times.
Me and
It's not,
Stankey dominated at the beach.
Me and Joey didn't lose a single game.
It was,
Because there's no competition.
no, it was me and Stankey. I had a beer in my left hand, and then it was Kyle and Robbie, and we won.
We won. All right, but continuing with the rankings, let's not get too sidetracked here. Coming in number 4 is McGowan's long-beloved partner, who he refuses to play without. Ryan Maher comes in at 4.
And the kid, he owns Joey. You know, me and him own real estate, and basically everybody in the list's head. I mean, me and Mar and I, we own the sport. We try to find games, and we're at the point in our careers where we can't find games anymore. I mean, we are so good. We're unbeatable, essentially. I mean, in our last 50 games, I would say, like, no joke, we're close to 46-4, you know, 45-5.
When are we playing?
Is that really, McGowan, is that really your official, like, do you know an official record for you?
Not an official, but we can ask Mar. We can ask plenty of our opponents.
Who have you lost to? Who did you lose
7-0,
to?
3 wins against
I don't
Joey.
know,
So
me and Rob,
that helps our record.
Who have
But
you
Mar
lost
and I
to?
are unbeatable.
He doesn't.
Who
Who
have
did you
you
lose to,
lost to?
McGowan?
We lost to Thomas and Luca once, I think, twice. We lost to 2 freshmen.
Ooh, that's a
we
little
lost,
low.
they lost one other game that I don't remember. But it's rare. It's rare when we lose. Because he gets to every single one of his spikes. He's everywhere. And he's plays so toxic. I love it.
Coming in number 3 is Luke Schmidt. And I know Luke, you know, the top 3 I think was determined from the second we made this ranking. But Luke Schmidt was put at 3. McGowan, why was Luke put at 3 over the
because
first
he's
2
athletic. I think that's really all I got to
You got
say.
the length of Arthur, plus the athleticism, plus the strength. I think is the number 3.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to agree.
Never
with
even
you.
seen him play, but
And his record is probably better than Joey's, but I'd definitely say Joey is better than Schmidt.
So now that moves into our number 2 spot is Joey Wood.
Whoa.
Pretty obvious there. Pretty obvious for me. I think you know he'd have a better shot at number 1 if he wasn't 3-16 against me.
Yeah.
But I basically live in his head. You see,
if you give me Schmidt, you don't win a game. So
I live in this kid's head.
You were scared to play against me and shit.
You know why he needs a job? You know why he needs a job? Because I've taken everything from him. I own it.
It's true.
So.
My teammate was also Robbie, and your teammate was Mar, but whatever.
And that moves us into number 1, me, debatably the greatest to ever play the sport. When I'm on a spike ball, when I'm around a net, everybody knows, you know, I'm the best player on the net. And
anyone knows that.
There's just no debate. My record speaks for itself. You know, people lie. People do lie. Numbers don't lie. People lie, numbers don't. And my record speaks for itself. My highlight tape,
Why did you go across from him?
What? Yeah, why didn't you go across from me?
Why would I go across from you if Joey gets Mar gets every single one?
You can't get to that.
To
Why
fair,
do I need to get to that when Mar hits it right to me and we beat you every single
McGowan,
time?
you're playing with the 4th best player, and Joey's playing with the 15th best player.
Yeah, exactly. I own real estate in Joey's head.
How did you – what?
Yes.
You're so good. You should be able to
I own
beat
you.
him.
I own you. If you play with Luke, Joe,
Give us equal teams. I'll take Schmidt, take
Luka.
Mar, and we
Take
win.
Luka.
Can we get a Joey and Schmidt versus McGowan and Mar matchup?
I'd love that. We'd smoke them.
That's an easy win
Really?
now. Easy
It
win.
wouldn't be
Smoke
close.
them. I
It
mean,
wouldn't be
we
close.
would absolutely smoke them.
I think Joey and Schmidt are winning that one.
No way. No way. I'm
Kidding.
sorry, but just because Schmidt
Yeah,
athletic,
the
Schmidt
only
doesn't
reason
have
you
this
beat us-
spike.
The
No,
only reason you
stop
beat
talking.
us is because you hit it over Robbie's head every time. Because they're going over Schmidt's head?
You think what?
Schmidt's 6'1",
I
lanky, and 10 times more athletic than Robbie. You think he's not getting that?
We'll see. That's
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see because and you know what, Sanka, we're gonna have to have a show after we play. You know.
I mean,
This
we're
match
gonna have to have an update on.
We are
we
gonna
might
have to have
update these rankings.
because you know what? To be
Weekly
completely
rank.
honest with you, Stanky, if me and Mar after Mar and I destroy Schmidt and Joey, I think you're gonna have to put Mar at number 2.
Okay.
Well, we're definitely gonna have updates. I know that there's a giant Spikeball tournament in the Bruins here that I've heard some rumors about going on. And after that, I'm definitely gonna have to come out, and we're gonna have to update these rankings if they deserve it. I mean,
I'd put my life on you losing in the first round, buddy. I don't think you scored 5 points, to be completely honest.
I will score over 10 points with my partner Terrell Joseph.
That is a joke.
If you give me Joey Wood, if you give me Mr. Wood, I don't think we would lose.
See, this is why my rankings are so low. No offense.
Yeah.
I always have to play with Mr. Stankey.
Play with Stankey? Yeah, I mean, that's unfair. You're playing with the worst player to ever play the sport.
You know? No, that's not true.
Like 4-0. Me and Stankey are 4-0. Bro, I don't think it's Stankey. I think it's you.
Yes.
Joey, actually, me and Ethan Marigola only lost to Joey and Kyle Wood by 2 points. Highlight of my Spikeball week. You know, I had at least 11 points.
That's not very impressive beating Joe. You know, he's very beatable.
Stankey.
Yes.
We should do a top 15 Spikeball cheaters. Who's number 1? Robbie?
Robbie Martino comes in at number 1. And
That's actually disrespectful. I literally agree with every single one of you.
No, I'm not a cheater. It's just a – oh, never mind.
I find that very disrespectful, Joey. I literally give –
You're a female dog, McGowan.
Wow.
Oh, my. All right.
Wow.
So are you. We're both female dogs.
You wouldn't play the game. I was trying to rotate to go across from you, and you said you wouldn't play the game.
I appreciate you guys saying that
I
the
would.
Female dog way. I truly do appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I know if Robbie came on the show last time
I am definitely not a cheater. You guys say it's Rim. You know,
you're not a cheater. Robbie is the cheater. I'm pretty fair with it too. Robbie's the cheater.
We're both, because we played when I went 7-0 against you that day. We really didn't have any disputes, except after Robbie would have a terrible one. He'd be like, "That's not gentleman's," because he sucks. Can't hit it.
That's what he did to us yesterday.
Terrell.
He also forgets the score. It's not even like he's trying to cheat.
Yeah.
He just forgets.
We're going to end it at that.
Stankey wants to go now because he knows he cheated.
I think we're going to end it at that. Hey, all I know is that me and Robbie beat McKenna and Terrell 2-1 yesterday. I'm going to end the meeting at that.
Stankey, all I know is you didn't have more than 5 points. Why are you talking?
That's
all I know.
I'm 16-3 against the number 2 player.
Rankings. Yes, we know McGowan. You're cocky. We know.
My record speaks for itself. You could be cocky. You weren't the worst player in the sport.
Your teammate was number 4, and my teammate was barely.
Thank you. You would be as cocky as me if you were as good as me. That's
Carr would hit McKenna's serves 75 yards the other way, so I'm definitely not the worst player in the sport. But I'm going to end the Spikeball.
You went 16-3 against the number 2 player. You'd be as cocky as me. That's all I'm going to say. That's where I'm going to leave it.
Yeah,
that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to retire.
Give me a fair game, and we destroy you.
We will join us next time. I'll have a show come out next week, something actual sports related. Unless we see a giant upset in Spikeball, then we're going to have to come back to it. But thank you guys for joining us. Join us next time.